Welcome to the Connected Spirit Podcast, a space where the mystical and the human experience merge, where we explore what it really means to walk a spirit-led path. I'm Courtney Dawson, an ethical medium and mentor, and for as long as I can remember, I have felt the presence of the spirit world. But my journey hasn't been simple. It's been one of self-discovery, healing from religious and emotional trauma, navigating fear, judgment, and the loneliness that comes with embracing something the world doesn't always understand. This podcast is here to take what was once considered woo and bring it into the real lived experience of being human. Because mediumship isn't just something we do, it's who we are. Here we dive into the conversations no one else is having, breaking down misconceptions, exploring the unseen, and normalizing the journey of deep connection. We'll talk about the beauty and the struggle of being a medium. We'll laugh, we'll reflect, we'll go deep. And most importantly, we'll remember who we are, why we're here, and how spirit moves through us all. So if you've ever felt something more, if you've ever questioned the unseen, or if you're simply ready to embrace the fullness of your spiritual path, you're in the right place. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Connected Spirit Podcast, and welcome into 2026, the year of the horse. I am so excited to be here with you and to ring in the new year. And this episode, I'm really feeling like I just want to take a moment to look back on 2025 because for me, when I look back to see where I've been and what I've been through, somewhere in that reflection, it helps me see things from a different perspective so I can be more aware and present in the here and now. And also maybe just shift my mindset and my intentions about where I want to go and where I'm headed as a human and as a spiritual being, especially since we're moving into 2026. For those of you that are new to the show, 2025 was a year that shook me to my core as a human, as a mom, as a wife, as a medium. There was a lot that transpired. Heading into January 2025, I was really grappling with some major burnout coupled with grief from my dad passing end of October 2024. And it was really tough. My body was starting to feel worn out, and I was still trying to truck along, not listening to my body, not listening to my intuition. Heck, I know I was listening to spirit when I was doing the work, doing readings and teaching, but on the back end of it, I wasn't really taking the time to pause and listen to spirit. And that showed up in some really big ways for me that weren't positive. And April, it's beginning of April-ish, I had just finished up a private reading with a client, and I got up with my dog and I was going to go take him for a walk, and all of a sudden I collapsed to the ground. I had this massive pain that was unlike anything I'd ever experienced, and I could barely get up. So I had my phone on me, luckily. I called my husband and I'm like, when are you coming home from work? He's like, I'm going to be home in about an hour. Somehow I got up to the table, and by the time he got home, I was still in that position. He picked me up, put me in bed, and he's like, you don't look well. I'm like, dude, I don't feel good. Something is wrong. Long story short, I almost didn't call the ambulance, but I did. They ended up coming 2 hours later because we're in Canada and everything is overworked and everyone is stretched thin. So they came, and for whatever reason, because of the gurney, they couldn't get it into the building apparently, which doesn't make sense to me because somebody down the hallway was taken out on a stretcher. Long story short, I could barely walk, but somehow, by the grace of God, I was able to walk down 2 flights of stairs, climb into the ambulance. Fast forward, I'm in the hospital for 14 hours, every kind of test done to me. They find out I have a massive cyst with a tumor in it, and I had to wait to see a specialist. It was an ovarian cyst. Now, my family has a history of cancer and all different kinds of stuff. So I was like, we are getting to the bottom of this right away. And I didn't pause for a moment and go, Spirit, what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to be learning? And so I was exerting a lot of stress and energy, hiring private clinics and private diagnostic testing places to get some of the stuff expedited because in Canada, particularly the province I live in BC, our healthcare system is so overloaded. Long story short, I talked to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what fuck to do. This is crazy. And she says, we need to pray. So we pray. We are calling on God. We are calling on angels. And they came in hot. I could feel their love. I could feel their energy. They were around me. They expedited a bunch of stuff to get into see the specialist and get a whole bunch of other stuff done. We fast forward 6 weeks later, I have a surgery, potentially two ovaries, but one. And the one ovary ended up being fine. All the tumors disappeared. How does that happen? Because people like you who are listening, who follow me on socials, were sending amazing healing. Spirit was working on my physical body so much. But they were saying, Courtney, there's a bigger picture here. There's a bigger reason why this all transpired. And it's because I wasn't listening. I wasn't slowing down listening to my body, and I wasn't listening to the spirit world. And that disharmony created disease in the body. Massive lesson for me. I have the surgery. We're able to keep one ovary. My body went into a state of shock. I was supposed to be in and out of the hospital in 5 hours. I was there for over 12. I could barely walk. My mom was freaking out getting the nurses. She's like, my daughter is gray and has these weird blotches over her. She's like, Courtney, you look like death. I'm like, don't tell me that. You're scaring the shit out of me. Not that I'm scared of death, but hell, it wasn't going to be happening on that day. Let me tell you, I was not ready for that. My body went into massive shock. I went into a surgical menopause. My one ovary wasn't working. I physically and energetically was not able to work, wasn't able to do mediumship readings or nothing. And I'm still trying to run a business. Oh my God, it was absolute chaos. I couldn't travel. And I'm like, Spirit, what is the lesson? They said, rest, rest. I go, okay, I'm going to do it. Start listening to my body when I'm tired. I'm going to rest. I'm not going to push through. I'm going to freaking rest. And I could look back and go, oh my God, my poor body, I didn't listen to you at all. You were giving me so many signs and I did not listen to you. And why I share that with you is because there's so many different ways that our intuition, our spirit guides, our helpers, our loved ones in the spirit world communicate with us. We can often think that it's going to come in as an image. We might hear them auditorily. Maybe they're going to visit us in a dream. All of those things. For me, I hear clairaudiently. So I wasn't hearing nothing, but my body was giving me these massive signals and I wasn't listening. And I was forced, physically forced to slow down. That was really, really tough because my whole business shifted. I wasn't able to do readings, wasn't sure what the heck was going to go on. I am a medium, but I'm still a person. I still have a mortgage. I have kids. I have a husband. What am I going to do? And I was just told, be still. And what's so interesting is I was still able to do some teaching. I ran Summer with Spirit and it was amazing. And I could still feel the energy of the spirit world. And oh my God, I wanted to work so bad and do readings, but I knew physically I couldn't. I was then prescribed some hormone replacement therapy, started taking that end of July, and I started to feel so much better. So much better. And I go, Spirit, what is the lesson? They're like, you need to take care of your temple. Your work is meaningless if you are not taking care of your temple, meaning the physical body. And I go, oh my God. I felt them so much more closely, so much more closely. Why? Because I wasn't focused on all these external things. This, schedule this, perform here, whatever. Like all of the things we think we need to do as mediums, as spiritual entrepreneurs. It just forced me to slow down and I go, God, thank you for that gift. Thank you for the ability to slow down and really recognize what the body is saying, what the spirit world is sharing. And sometimes if we don't listen, repeatedly, life will kick us in the ass to give us this massive wake up call. And that's what 2025 was for me. I took off 6 months from doing professional readings, and I was so scared, you guys. And I'm honest with you on the show. You all know that. I don't sugarcoat nothing because there's too much of that out there, right? I was scared. I had decided, okay, you know what? Physically, I'm doing better. I'm exercising, doing my physio. Let's get back to doing readings. Then I started having anxiety, and I said to my husband, I've been doing this professionally for 10 years. I don't know. Maybe it's all gone. He's like, come on, no way. And I said, well, maybe it's not going to be the same. So I opened up my bookings for October and I opened up my bookings for October and I limited it to 4 days a week. Now, I'm used to doing 12 readings a week. That's a massive difference, right? I just knew that I couldn't push it. As many people that are coming to see me, my wait list, all of this kind of stuff, the referrals that I get, I couldn't do it. I want to, believe me, I want to, but I couldn't. And so I had to give myself grace and compassion, honor the body, and honor this temple so I can show up in the fullest capacity that I'm capable of without diluting the power of the spirit that is running through me when I am showing up as a medium. And so some people were disappointed, and I thought, I got to take care of me, right? For so many years, I've put other people's needs above my own. And 2025 was a year to say, how's that working for you, girl? How is that working for you? Everybody else is filled up, everybody else's cup is topped up, and you are depleted and you have all these health issues because of it. How's that working for you? I swear, 2025 felt like a bitch slap. I was getting slapped left, right, and center. But I needed it. Sadly, I needed it. The way that I'm able to show up now for my clients is so much richer because it's balanced and it's grounded. And that's what so many people are experiencing as they reflect back on 2025. They go, man, that was a really rough year. Relationships ended, changes in careers, people moving, showing up differently, more authentically, showing up in the fullest power of themselves, no longer caring what other people's opinions are of them because they are so grounded in their truth and belief systems that they're not going to let someone's opinion shift who they are anymore. And I go, wow, okay, so I'm not the only one who was getting an ass whooping in 2025. This is amazing. You want to know why? Because there is this falsity that we see in the online space, particularly. People show up all love and light and glam, and they give this false narrative of what it's really like to be a psychic medium, to be a spiritual entrepreneur. And I'm going to be honest with you, there are times behind the scenes I'm like, this is a lot of work. But the beauty of it is, if we are spirit led, if we're listening to our bodies, if we're listening to that inner guidance system, it doesn't have to be as rough. Even when we are navigating some challenging times in life, in business, we can move through it with ease and grace simply because we are tapped into that higher source, that higher frequency. So maybe you're listening and you're like, wow, 2025 sucked. Fine. But can you look back and go, what did it teach me? What lessons can I take and apply moving forward in 2026? How can I take those lessons and use them to inspire other people who cross my path, whether that be family, friends, coworkers, clients, etc.? How can I show up in the most aligned version of myself without diluting my power? How can I allow the power of the presence of the Spirit to move through me without watering it down to make myself more palatable for other people who are still working through their shadow, who are still stuck in playing small? When you can take all of that and add that to your spiritual toolkit, you are going to show up in the most empowered version of you in 2026. Interestingly enough, I was sitting with the spirit world shortly after I read a post from a beautiful medium. If she's listening, I want to say, I love you, Virginia. Her name is Virginia Bellevue. You can check her out on her socials. She's amazing. Love her. I saw on Facebook a post and it said, and I'm paraphrasing, she doesn't do New Year's resolutions. She will come up with a word for the year. I was like, dang, that's really powerful because resolutions can be so limiting, right? If we don't achieve this goal, then we're failures, we're losers. No, we're not. Sometimes we're creating these circumstances that set us up for failure. And her perspective is come up with a word and let that anchor you into the new year, carry you through the full year. And I was like, oh my God, this is like freaking gold for me. And the word that the Spirit gave me, my own soul, coupled with my spirit team, was freedom. I don't know tons about astrology. I find it interesting. My wheelhouse is mediumship. That's my baby. I love it. But I do understand and appreciate astrology. 2026 is the year of the horse. For years, my symbol for freedom is the horse. And that was the word that I was given, freedom. Maybe that's something that you want to do this year. Connect with your own soul. Maybe invite your spirit team in and go, what word can inspire me, empower me, anchor me, ground me into this new year so I can stay purposeful in everything that I do, that I can stay anchored in who I am and not allow anybody to deter me from that. How can I stay unwavering in this year? It's going to help you so much. But before we wrap up today's episode, I'm really feeling inspired by the world of spirit to pull a card for the collective. The deck that I'm going to use is Sacred Destiny Oracle from Denise Lynn. I'm just going to shuffle. And this is a card that I would love for you, just going to shuffle here, love for you to pause and reflect. And her cards are beautiful. They have an image and one word. Listen to the word and allow it to find its place of rest in your heart, in your soul, and just ponder it over the next week as you're coming up with your own word. But this is a word for the collective. And if this resonates, know that this is meant for you to hear at this moment, whenever you listen to this episode. So just asking the world of spirit to share with the collective, to share with you what you need to know right now in this exact moment as you're listening. So we've got a card and the word is action. And this beautiful card has a tidal wave coming in and a beautiful sunset. And I'm just allowing the world of spirit to come close and to blend. And I just invite my guides of the highest truth and compassion who work in the Creator's will to step forward, to blend, and to share with these beautiful souls who are listening right now what they need to know about this word action. And as the spirit world comes in, they're talking about action and they're saying, friends, you have action that needs to be taken, not quickly, but slowly. You have allowed yourself to rush into situations, relationships, agreements through quick action, through impulsivity. And those moments did not always pan out for you. And then you question and wonder why our world allowed that to happen. But friend, that is not what we allowed to happen. That was your free will. That was you not listening to the guidance that has been shared with you through your soul being, through the souls that work with you in your team. There have been signs, there have been messages, there have been moments where those little bits of guidance came through, but they fell on deaf ears. We're asking you to take action, but take spirit-led action and to be very thoughtful, very strategic in every action you take. That way, the resource that is your soul, that contains your power, your longevity, your inspiration, your divinity is not depleted. Many of you that are listening right now have found yourself exhausted and needing rest. And that rest is warranted to prevent yourself from experiencing burnout and distraction from your true calling, which is multifaceted, different facets that make up you. For many, it may be teaching, parenting, showing up as the partner, being the healer, the intuitive, the medium. All these different aspects that make up you are entangled, they're interwoven, but they cannot blend purposefully as they've been designed to if you are taking quick action. It's like trying to prepare a beautiful meal, and instead of allowing it to slow cook, you crank up the heat. Flavor is lost, ingredients are scorched, and it's not as enjoyable. Then you have to start all over again. We want you to avoid doing that because every moment that you are here is a gift. It is a gift to the world, it is a gift to yourself. Take inspired action, not based on impulsivity, but based on what you know at the deepest level of your core is meant for you. For some, it may cause you to feel a little nervous or trepidatious, but that's only because you're being called to move out of your comfort zone and to level up. For others, the action you may be required to take is to slow down, to be more thoughtful about who and what you engage with. For others, it may be to pick up the speed just a little bit. You know that you're meant for more. It's time to step into that calling. So there's all different types of actions you are being called to move into right now. For some, it may be to slow down. For some, it may be to pick up a little bit. It's time to get on it. Stop dragging your heels. And while we have a chuckle on the other side and go, this is a lesson that he or she's got to learn again, we understand it's all about your growth. But there is an acceleration that is happening in the growth of the collective. There is no more time for wandering, going around that mountain multiple times. As your world grows and evolves and reaches a higher state of enlightenment, we need souls that are ready to move forward diligently, but intentionally, and allowing that force that works through them to show up and allow the impact of your work to touch at a deeper level in the souls that find their way to you. Action doesn't have to be scary. It need not disrupt your life. It doesn't have to cause you anxiety, but it is something that is required. So as you take action in 2026, allow this one piece of advice to support you. If you feel peace, that is your green light to move ahead. If you are fearful, pause and go, what am I actually fearful of? Because you are a divine being full of love, light, and you are surrounded by protection. Nothing can ever damage or hurt you. So what is it that needs to be healed so you can move forward? Because everything's a lesson for you. Take time to allow these words to find their place of rest. And when you are ready, take the action that is required of your soul at this time. Thank you for listening. Friends, thank you so much for allowing the world of spirit to come in and support you and share you today. Thank you for allowing the world of spirit to come in today to share their thoughts and words of inspiration as we move into 2026. Allow this to be the year that you show up in the most aligned version of you. The world needs you now more than ever. So if you are just starting out on your mediumship development journey, maybe you're a couple of years in and you're like, I'm really going to do this. Maybe you are already working with the public and you're working professionally and you're like, what action am I supposed to take in 2026? Maybe you're having a difficult time hearing your guides. Don't stress out. I'm here for you. You can head on over to my page and you can book either a spiritual assessment or perhaps a psychic reading with me, and I'll be able to work with your guides to bring through that information so you can make the impact you're born to make. Until we meet next time, friends, I'm so grateful for you to be here and to listen to this episode. If you feel there's somebody you know who may benefit from the show, I would be so grateful if you could share this with them. Know that you are an incredible being, and the world is a better place for you being here.
The Connected Spirit isn't just a podcast, it's a remembering of who we are, a remembering of our connection to spirit, and a remembering that we are never walking this path alone. Mediumship isn't just about speaking with spirits. It's about deepening the connection to our own spirit, to one another, and to the energy that moves through everything. So as you leave this space, ask yourself, what part of this conversation stirred something within you? What connection is spirit inviting you to strengthen? If this episode spoke to you, please share it, leave a review, and connect with me on Instagram at Medium Courtney Dawson, or visit my website at mediumcourtneydawson.com. Your presence in this community matters, because connection isn't just about what we seek, it's what we are. Until next time, trust your spirit, trust the unseen world, and trust that you are always, always connected.